Hello my loves, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Jen, and if this is your first time, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, comment, and share. So guys, today we're going to be talking about Jazz, as well as the characteristics that I noticed in her family as well as her. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. So guys, as we all know, Jazz was diagnosed with gender dysphoria, but one thing I noticed that they all stated is at age 2, she was basically able to tell her genitals apart. She wanted a vag instead of a pee-pee, and I'm trying to figure out how a 2-year-old would be able to know exactly what this is and what that is down there. At 2 years old, they're still babies. They really haven't got a sense of like what gender actually is. So it's a little bit weird, and I feel like either Jazz was coached or taught this, and my guess is by Jeanette, okay? And why would this little kid also be able to tell you that they want a fairy to come and change their pee-pee into a vag? And why wouldn't you tell that little child that, hey, listen, that's not the way it works. That's not the way the world works. It's never gonna happen. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, you're never gonna be a woman. But, you know, Jeanette and Greg, they just went along with it, okay? Also, Jeanette keeps stating that Jazz knew she was transgender at an early age, but I actually believe that Jeanette has something called Munchausen syndrome, if that's how you pronounce it. I'll correct myself if it's not. But it's basically Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is a mental illness that basically makes the mother or caretaker believe there is something wrong with their child. Therefore, they make up fake symptoms. So maybe Jeanette felt like there was something wrong with Jazz due to the fact that Jazz was wearing girly shoes and wanted ponytails in her hair or whatever. But I feel like as babies, they're curious of shoes regardless, and they're curious of stuff like that, and they're wondering why you're wearing it. And that doesn't mean anything. They also try to eat the shoes. Does that mean that shoes should be a part of our everyday food chain or part of our diet? No, it doesn't. So like the excuse of, oh, Jazz knew she was transgender at an early age because she was doing this and that doesn't mean anything. Kids are just curious. Why are these people trying to make babies out to be gay or transgender? How is a 2-year-old able to decide that they're transgender? And why would Jazz's parents go along with this illusion that a baby is transgender? Make it make sense. And the part that infuriates me the most is this agenda of babies being born as transgender makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense because they have no sense of gender yet. They haven't discovered themselves yet. Why are you trying to force this down a baby's throat? Like, what is going on in the gay community? Is this a norm? This is not normal. If you guys notice, Jazz was allowed to consume harmful hormones as well as puberty blockers that stunted her growth physically as well as mentally starting at age 11. And I was watching like a few of the scenes, and this one guy, when they were having a debate, called it gender vitamins or some crap like that, and I was like, these people are delusional. It's the absolute delusion for me, because these medications aren't even safe for adults. Why the hell would they be safe for children? What are these people thinking? The effects haven't even been seen yet, and you guys are allowing your children to take this crap. And I just feel like this whole show, we know so much about Jazz. We know so much about Jazz's genitals. We know so much about Jazz's sexual preferences and what she's thinking about doing. And like, it's too much, TLC. I'm sorry, cut it down a bit. It's too much. And I just feel like everyone says that transgenders may not be here if they are not allowed to transition, blase blase, and they could off themselves if they're not allowed to transition. But my question is, how is it that the offing rate is still high even after the transition? So obviously it's not the transition that's making them want to off themselves. It's the fact that they have mental health issues that need to be addressed prior to you deciding you want to sterilize a little kid and then castrate them once they become 17 or 18. This is absolutely absurd, and I just don't like this. Was Jazz brought up just to be this girl that's the face of the gay community simply because as a young child, Jazz accidentally put on mommy's shoes? And I just wanted to know, why is Jazz so miserable after this quote-unquote surgery that's gonna be life-changing and supposedly was supposed to make her so happy? Why does she still look so miserable and sad, and now she's gained all this weight? She's always trying to please other people. She's always overthinking things. Like, I know some people are naturally overthinkers, but it's just like, in Jazz's case, I think it's a little too much for this young kid, okay? Get off of TV, Jeanette. And I just want everybody out there to know that Jeanette and Greg, to me, this is my honest opinion, these are not facts, but I feel like these are two sick individuals that decided to make their child the face of something that could possibly lead to them offing themselves. And that's just how I'm gonna put it. And they basically sacrificed Jared for fame and money. I'm sorry, they sacrificed Jared for fame and money. And I can see why a lot of people call Jazz he instead of a her, because at the end of the day, Jared, you're never gonna be a her. And I just feel like that is why people address you as he. And I feel like this is why people do not support the transgender community, because they just feel like this is all smoke and mirrors. It is an illusion. It is a delusion that you want us to believe because you're living it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're never gonna buy into it. And now they have their twin son, the one that's named Sander. He's also into, I guess, gay boys or transgenders. But to me, it's just weird, and I feel like Sander's attention-seeking ass is just trying to pander and be an ally to the gay community simply because he has nothing better to do with his time. He annoys me greatly. I'm sorry, he really does. And I just feel like, so first it was Jared, now it's gonna be Sander. Did you guys remember that scene in the hot tub where Sander was basically telling the transgender he wouldn't sleep with a transgender that hasn't gotten the bottom surgery done? And the guy was like, oh, that shocked me too, Sander. Like, I thought you were gonna go all the way. And then had the nerve to say, oh, they are real women. Sander, you on some other type of shit, okay? Absolutely not. They're not real women, and you can't even delude yourself into believing that they're real women. Like, they're using this show as a way to draw more kids into transgender community and make more kids miserable and make kids take medicine that they're not ever supposed to be taking. And at the rate at which kids are coming out as transgender, it is really alarming. But you guys tell me what you think about this whole Jennings household. I think it's a bunch of weirdos. The only people who are somewhat normal is the grandpa, Ari, and what's the other twin's name? I can't remember right now. But you guys tell me what you think. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, guys, it's been fun. Peace.